Lufas Maphaahl, the black-winged overlord and leader of the 12 Stars of Heaven, has been defeated. Years later, a man wakes up in her body, 200 years after her downfall at the hands of the 7 heroes. But the game world he once knew as Exgate is no longer ruled by humans, and it's no longer just a game. It has become a living world where every character thinks, feels, and breathes just like him. Our story begins with a young Lufas swearing to grow stronger and eliminate injustice. As she matures, that determination transforms her into a conqueror. Eventually, a group of heroes gathers to take her down. The battlefield is fierce, with corpses scattered everywhere. They believe they have her cornered, but she strikes first, taking down one of them in an instant. An archer tries to snipe her, but she easily blocks the shot. At that moment, a bear-like hero charges, only for Lufas to block and send him flying, knocking out the archer too. Another hero, a tanker, attacks head-on, but Lufas pins him down. It turns out to be a trap. Another hero attacks with magic from behind. Lufas counters, but it's revealed as an illusion by the hero mage. Despite their efforts, the hero is pierced through his chest. Refusing to die quietly, he unleashes his climax skill. Lufas tries to evade, but he grabs her hand and strikes with the skill. The mage then casts a subspace seal. The heroes gather to witness Lufas's final moments. She commends their victory, expressing belief that they can now defeat the Demon King. ORM, before being sealed, resulting in her defeat. But the truth is, Lufas was originally a game character created by a shut-in loser. One day, he receives a strange notification from the game's goddess of creation, Lufas. Thinking it's an official message because his character became a boss rivaling the Demon King, he accepts it. His screen goes black, and when he opens his eyes, he finds himself surrounded by strangers. Assuming it's a prank, he looks down, noticing breasts and confirming his male anatomy is gone. Checking his reflection, he sees Lufas's exact likeness, complete with black wings. Convinced he's dreaming like the loser he is, he decides to ask the people in front of him for clarity. But when he opens his mouth, a powerful pressure slams them to the ground. Despite only wanting to ask a question, Lufas's overlord-like speech overwhelms them. She mocks their pinned-down state as their standard posture. He tries to calm the pressure, but speaking again only intensifies it. After much begging and effort, he stops the skill point. One of the people, an elf, seems to recognize her. Lufas demands he explain the state of affairs, but he passes out from fear. When he wakes, he reveals it's been 200 years since her sealing, and the Demon King is still alive. They used Exgate to summon a hero, accidentally breaking her seal. Overjoyed at being reincarnated in his beloved game, Lufas tries to ease their fears, but they're too terrified. She reassures them she's not here to cause trouble, declaring she's no longer an overlord but a young girl eager to explore the world after 200 years. She tells them they can summon another hero if they wish, then flies off, thrilled to see what Exgate has become. From high above, the view is breathtaking. But one thing stands out, a colossal tower piercing through the clouds. She instantly knows where her first destination lies. Exgate is an online fantasy game set in Midgars, famous for its war system where players engage in PvP and winners conquer nations. Its novel system publishes character stories as official history. Lufas was the strongest character, conquering all of Midgars for the first time in game history, making her a semi-official character. Bored as the sole ruler, he negotiated with other players for a war between Lufas's forces and the heroes, resulting in the game's greatest battle. Ultimately, Lufas was defeated and sealed in a subspace. Now, she heads toward the Sky Tower of Maphaahl, her old base. Inside, the halls are empty, the throne room covered in dust. Sitting on her throne, memories of her former companions resurface. Then, out of nowhere, a flashback hits her. Two of the heroes who once fought her appear in her mind. Before she can make sense of it, a young girl approaches, overjoyed, rushing to Lufas's side, claiming she's waited 200 years. Lufas doesn't recognize her. The girl, Dina, introduces herself as Lufas's loyal advisor. Lufas remembers appointing a young girl as a backdrop NPC advisor when building the tower. Confused that an NPC gained self-awareness and waited for her, Lufas apologizes for forgetting someone so loyal. She confides in Dina about her broken seal. Dina reveals the kingdom of Levitian broke it, rumored to be preparing to summon a hero. Lufas orders Dina to brief her on events since her sealing. Dina explains the 7 heroes who defeated her founded their own nations, but 4 have died of old age. Lufas wonders if the remaining heroes are players like her. Dina drops a bombshell. The 12 heavenly stars are alive. These unique, powerful monster NPCs were bestowed the title for their strength. But Dina adds that 2 of the 12 joined the Demon Lord to avenge Lufas. Lufas is disappointed in her subordinates for joining the Demon Lord, even if it was to avenge her. Lufas declares they'll journey to gather the 12 heavenly stars and investigate if the remaining heroes are players. Dina informs her that the first star they can find is Ares the Ram, who is currently at war with one of the 7 heroes, Migres and Svel. Lufas spreads her wings, ready to depart, but Dina stops her. They need preparation and, more importantly, money. After waiting 200 years, they don't have a single penny. Lufas suggests raising funds. Dina notes her appearance, especially her black wings. A curse among the heaven-winged is too recognizable. Lufas scoffs, doubting anyone would remember her after 200 years. But Dina calls her naive, pointing out Elve's long age and her face is still fresh memories. Dina suggests adventuring, as it ignores identity or background. Lufas agrees, liking the idea. They head to the bustling trade city of Idalir, with Lufas hiding her wings under a cloak. The disguise ironically draws even more attention. Inside the Adventurers Guild, nostalgia hits her. It feels like the old days. Dina recalls Lufas's past as an adventurer, and Lufas laughs it off, muttering about the good old days. They head to the quest board. Dina picks a quest to find lost cats for 200 EL, but Lufas insists fighting is their forte, not searching. Dina then selects an orc extermination quest for 1500 EL. Lufas recalls that in the game, killing orcs yields a 3% chance of dropping orc meat, which boosts max HP. They reach the village plagued by orcs. The village chief explains the situation, and Dina reassures him Lufas will handle it. At the orc den, Dina mocks their ugly faces, joking even the goddess sees them as failures and urges Lufas to wipe them out. Before attacking, Lufas checks her stats, all maxed, consistent with the game. Using alchemy, she crafts swords from the earth and takes out the guarding orcs. She feels grossed out by their corpses, but remains mentally unshaken. The commotion draws more orcs, led by their massive chief. The orcs attack, but their movements are sluggish to Lufas. Realizing she doesn't need swords, she pops their heads off with ease. The orc chief, terrified by his fallen minions, attacks the ground randomly. Despite his efforts, Lufas stands unscathed. A fire ignites on the orc's blood, and Lufas notes the vast gap in strength and perception of time. The chief tries again, but Lufas appears in his face, pats his head, and the orc felt like an ominous force was crushing him, causing his head to explode. For Lufas, it wasn't even a battle. It was nothing more than a slaughter. That wraps up today's recap. What do you think about this episode? Drop your thought in the comment, and if you liked this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss the next one.